I'm here with Carola Lilienthal, one of the people from the program committee of the Architecture Gathering conference organized by the iSAQB. And I mentioned your name already, but could you say a few words about who you are and what got you to come here?
Yes, thank you. Well, my name is Carola Lilienthal, and I'm head of a company of 120 developers in Hamburg called Workplace Solutions. So we are programming software and trying to get nice interfaces so that users are happy about the software afterwards. And well, I've been doing a lot of software architecture all my life. I've been a professional since 1995, and some years ago I wrote a book about it, about sustainable software architecture. What actually makes a system long living? So that's my main question. And well, since 2 months, this book is available in English as well, which makes me very happy.
Congratulations.
So, it was a huge work, but it turned out very, very nice. Yeah.
Okay, so you work professionally in the area of software architecture. Now, the iSAQB is a non-profit organization.
Yeah.
What's your reason for joining and supporting this activity?
Well, I have been teaching a lot at the university as a part-time professor, and before as well, before I did my doctor thesis. And for me, well, I love teaching. And for me, it was very important to get some standard teaching as well for software architects. And the iSAQB done that. They organized all kinds of programs, how to standardize the topics that software architectures should know about software architecture. And well, I teach some of those courses too, and I helped create some of those courses as well, so that people can learn more about software architecture when they are already working, when they are not at the university anymore. Because from my point of view, you have to have some experience to really understand why software architecture is necessary, why you have to deal with it, to discuss it, to look at your huge system and define modules and things. And this is why I really love this program, even if it's non-profit.
Okay, cool. Today you talked about DDD, or domain-driven design, and that seems to be a topic for you lately that's very, very important. So can you tell us a little bit on how that came about?
Yeah, well, in my company we always had an idea. We started in 1999, okay, it was that. We already had an idea how to construct software systems, and in 2004 the domain-driven design book of Eric Evans was released, and we just read it and we said, oh, this is exactly how we do it, we love it, and we sort of took some of his concepts on top of what we already did, and since then we build our systems like that. And from my point of view, it really gives developers and architects very, very good guidance what to do with their the domain source code in their software system. It's not about the technical stuff, it's about the domain classes, and this should be a huge part of your system, of course.
Okay.
And domain-driven design really gives guidance on a high level and on the class level. So you really get everything. You get to know the big picture and the little picture where you work.
That sounds very good. But if I look at my watch, it's like 20 years ago almost.
Yes, yes.
So why is it such a hot topic?
Very good question. Very good question. Well, in 2004, many of those object-oriented systems were still very small. So people didn't have a lot of problems with monoliths and with the question of scaling and how could I cut my monolith in pieces. And the idea of microservices was not even born. So with microservices and these huge monoliths that people have created in Java, and the question, how can I break this apart to have small teams working on just one part of the software and not everybody working with the whole thing, this was the moment when DDD got important.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So what does the iSAQB do with DDD?
Yeah.
What's the connection
Yeah,
there?
that's a good question. Well, in the iSAQB learning program, there's a foundation level. And in this foundation level, we just teach basic stuff. So we talk a bit about domain-driven design. There are some patterns and things like that. But then there's an advanced level, and we have a proper module to teach domain-driven design on 3 days, so that people really understand what this whole story is about. Because there are a lot of ideas and concepts and methodology in domain-driven design. You need 3 days to learn that in the end.
Okay. That, the way I understand the iSAQB, this means, at least from what I get from working with the curricula, this means the iSAQB is just defining the syllabus.
Yeah, that's true. They only define what you should learn in a course, and then there are training providers, like my company as well, that actually deliver the real training to the customer. But we have to follow the plan, the syllabus, and we have to prove to the iSAQB that our company is able to do it. That we have trainers who have experience and who know how to teach and how to teach this topic.
So that means wherever in the world someone's taken an iSAQB course on DDD, it's more or less the same content, or at least
Yes.
the same learning objectives.
Yeah. The content should be the same because the syllabus explains everything. It depends, of course, on the trainer who is there in front of you. Did he ever program a DDD system or not? Experience is important, of course.
So you mentioned programmer.
Yeah.
Is DDD only for software developers? I understood that differently.
That's a very good question. No, it's not only, from my point of view, it's not only for developers. It helps a lot as well, for architects, of course, but the programming architect is what we all love, of course, so he knows how to program. But it's as well for the users to understand what the developers are actually doing. And if you have a large company, there's often people who call themselves business analysts, and they actually transfer the knowledge from the user to the development team, and they have to know about DDD to understand what is actually the idea to get the domain knowledge into the software, how to transfer that. So actually, when we do DDD trainings, we try to get the business analysts and the users just for 1 day, so they understand the basic concepts. They don't have to understand all the programming concepts, but the idea how to get the knowledge into the software and how important this is and how we do it. This is important for them.
So you're really interested, or you're really onto that
Yes.
topic.
Yeah,
so
for me,
you
it's
think it's one of the hot topics in architecture right now, together with, I don't know, what's the next hot topic?
Yeah,
microservices and DDD?
No, yeah. From my point of view, microservices already getting a bit down. But this, for me, this whole DevOps development and the cloud thing and the continuous integration stuff was very technical. And we needed a domain-specific topic or a domain-specific idea, a concept on the other side, so that the whole software development doesn't fall into this trap again to be absolutely technical. Because, of course, my software can be how brilliant or continuous delivered or whatever, or cloudish or I don't know what. If it doesn't fit to the needs of the user, well, what do I do with the software, for me, I'm very happy that domain-driven design is there, because otherwise we would just talk about technical stuff. And this is why I think it's very important and why I'm so passionate about it.
Yes, and you really are. So, for now, I think we would wrap up.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for those wonderful questions.
Thank you.